One of the biggest debates in the guitar world: should you learn the CAGED system or the 3 notes per string? Some say CAGED is better, while others say that 3 notes per string is better. But do you really have to choose one? In this video, I'll break down the advantages and disadvantages from both systems and explain why I think combining them is the best approach. If you're new here, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope it'll be useful. Let's get to it. First, let's talk about the CAGED system. This method is based on the 5 open chords that we have on the guitar, which is C, A, G, E, and D, which is spelled CAGED. And it's spread across the fretboard. It's a great way for you to visualize chord shapes, arpeggios, and scale shapes. So here's some advantages using the CAGED system. Helps you connect chord shapes across the neck, make it easy to see arpeggios and chord tones. Great for rhythm guitar, triads, and quickly finding chord shapes on the same area of the fretboard. Helps visualizing major and minor pentatonics. Now here are some of the advantages that you get from the CAGED system. Scale patterns are sometimes inconsistent and can feel boxy, not the most efficient for alternate picking and speed, and some shapes can be awkward to play fluidly. For example, if we take a C shape and play a major scale, let's do it in D, which is this shape here. This is the chord, and now the scale shape. For the majority of strings, we're actually going to be playing 3 notes per string in the CAGED shape. But at some point in the scale shape, there will be a break in this pattern. And this helps you to stay in the same area of the fretboard without having to move around, which goes like this. We have 3 notes per string on the low E, 3 notes per string on the A, same thing on the D. When it gets to G, we only have 2 notes, and then 3 notes on the high E. You see that I didn't move my hand around the fretboard, up or down. I stayed in one position. That's one of the things that the CAGED system is great for. And it keeps everything around that chord shape, which is C. But we are playing actually in D major, not C. C is just the shape. Now let's talk about the 3 notes per string. Instead of it being based on chord shapes, this method spreads evenly across the fretboard, playing 3 notes per string. This makes it easier to play fast and smoothly. And now here are some of the advantages playing the 3 notes per string. Helps alternate picking, economy picking, and also legato. Great for fast runs and shredding. And with one shape, it can expand the fretboard quite a bit. Now the disadvantages are: doesn't emphasize chord shapes as clearly as the CAGED system, can be harder to see arpeggios and chord tones, requires more shifting up and down the neck. So which one should you use? The truth is, both systems got their place. CAGED helps you visualize chords and target notes, while the 3 notes per string give you freedom to move across the neck smoothly. If you only learn the CAGED system, you might feel stuck in a box. If you only learn the 3 notes per string, you might struggle connecting chord shapes. But when you combine them, you get the best of both worlds. And if you know one of the two, I'm going to show you now how you can connect them, how they are connected in a way. Okay, let's say you know the CAGED system, and we're going to take the D shape as an example, playing it in G major. This is the chord shape, and the scale shape goes like this. As we spoke before, the CAGED system will have some 3 notes per string, right? And if we play the D shape like I just did, playing it from the high E string, you see that when we get to the A string, there's that break that I spoke about, which you only have 2 notes. I'll play it until the A string. Now, if you take 2 notes and play them on a different fret, you're gonna have a 3 notes per string pattern. Let me show you. So when you get to the A string, instead of playing the perfect 4th, which is a C, on here, on the 8th fret of the low E, you play it on the A string, 3rd fret, same note. Okay, so one more time. Instead of playing on the 8th fret on the low E, stay on the A and play 3rd fret. And then on the low E string, you're gonna play the 7 as normal, the 5th fret as normal, But then instead of ending it on that 5th fret, you're going to play G, which is the root on the 3rd fret of the low E. Okay, so let me play it one more time. So instead of doing this, we played it like that. As you can see, the CAGED system forces you to stay just in that area, which is great if you're visualizing chord shapes, arpeggios, pentatonic and other shapes as well. But it's not that symmetrical because there is that break that we spoke about. But then if you change only 2 notes, well, not change the notes but play them in a different place, you will have a 3 notes per string shape, okay? And this is for the D shape, of course. The other shapes will change the relation between CAGED and 3 notes per string. And if you know the 3 notes per string and want to explore the CAGED system, obviously go learn the CAGED system, the shapes and everything, and then link both. For example, if you know, let's do G, the first shape of the 3 notes per string. Some call it the Ionian shape, but modes aren't shapes. Just pointing that out there, but that's a topic for a different video. But let's take that shape, which is the first shape of the 3 notes per string. If you know that you're in G, for example, and you know the 3 notes per string shape, then what you can do is find the G chord that's around that shape. For example, if we start here, the root is on the low E. You know that there's an E shape just starting on that 3rd fret, low E. And that's an E shape, but G major. Based on that, you can then play the CAGED system, which will be starting on the major 7, F sharp. Okay, so that's the E shape for the CAGED system. But the thing is, because the 3 notes per string has 7 shapes and the CAGED system 5, you're gonna have two shapes extra, right? So here, for example, you could play 2 shapes. You could play the CAGED system, of course. The 3 notes per string starting from the F sharp. And also the 3 notes per string starting from G, which is the one that we played before. Now I want to know what's your approach. What do you prefer, the CAGED system, the 3 notes per string, or do you only use intervals? You know, what's your approach? Let me know in the comments. If you need help improving on the guitar, check out the links below. I'll leave some links to lessons and also contact for private lessons if you're interested. And if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit the like, subscribe so you won't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching. I hope this was useful. Make sure you guys keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.